And welcome back into the White Sox franchise here on Rig Gaming. We are starting the off-season now. I simmed a little bit into the off-season to get through tendering the minor league contracts and everything. But real quick, I'll take you through the postseason. On the National League side of things, we had the Dodgers lose in the wild card game against the wild card series against the Chicago Cubs, and the Atlanta Braves lose to San Francisco. On the AL side of things, Texas beat Toronto and Minnesota beat Baltimore in the wild card series. And then the Angels lost to Minnesota in the ALDS, and Tampa Bay lost to Texas. So that means Tampa Bay against Minnesota in the ALCS, and on the NLDS side, we have Chicago beating San Diego, and we have Milwaukee beating San Francisco. So in the NLCS, we had Milwaukee and Chicago, and then Tampa Bay and Minnesota. Minnesota ended up winning in 6 games against Tampa Bay to advance to the World Series, and Milwaukee beat Chicago in 7. So, Minnesota versus Milwaukee World Series. It ended up being a Minnesota victory. Minnesota ended up winning the World Series here in 2023. But we are now going into the off-season. As I mentioned, I did a bunch of the minor league contracts, and now we look to bring in some people. So I have sent offers out to Jack Flaherty, Julio Teheran, Colton Wong, Cesar Hernandez, and Yariel Rodriguez for guys who would make the major leagues staff. And then Jackie Sombrowski is, just a reliever that we can have to have depth in the organization. But there's a lot of good free agents here, not necessarily high level besides Ohtani, but definitely good players. But I don't really think we are gonna make a run at anyone. I'm kind of interested in maybe a bat here and there, but we also have a lot of bats in the minor leagues ready to develop and possibly get playing time. So I might look for just a lower overall, like a Michael A. Taylor or someone else to, play a little bit of outfield for us. But we have a lot of outfield depth as well. Same with infield. So that's why I'm not really bringing in anybody great. I'm not going to tender Luke Raley. I feel like with as much outfield depth as we have, we can kind of let him go on and succeed somewhere else, especially with his regression this season. But again, this is just an off-season episode. We'll get to the spring training by the end of it. But we are also, I'll probably have to wait a little bit, but we're going to trade Liam Hendriks over to the Blue Jays like I envisioned, like I had done, and it did not save, as we see Ohtani go to the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's interesting. Never seen that before. So that'll be good for Pittsburgh. And we'll definitely be playing them anytime they come about, especially with their beautiful stadium. Let's see. We were able to bring in Jack Flaherty, Colton Wong so far. We still got Julio Teheran, Cesar Hernandez offers out there. Hopefully we were... I don't think we were able to bring in... No, it does not look like we were able to bring in... Wow, that's disappointing. The reliever? Oh, there's one reliever, Yariel Rodriguez, 27, B potential. Randomly generated, so brought him in to fill some depth. And then some guys here I'm gonna let walk. Kenyon Middleton will probably be one of those guys at 30 years old. Victor Reyes as well. Tukey I will bring back after he had a hell of a season with us this year. I guess last year. 170 innings, 3.25 ERA. So he gave us everything we could have wanted out of that long relief role. 170 innings is quite impressive. but we'll sim a little bit. But we'll see if anything happens. Our 40-man must be set. Let's see, so we have 37 people on right now. But let's see. Luke Rayleigh is on. He's on. I'd Cesar Hernandez. Jacob Gonzalez and Curtis Mead. Oh, do not want to designate for assignment. Let's see what our lineups would look like. Let's see, it doesn't look like Evan Carter is up, so Evan Carter would be at one of the outfielders. Trace Thompson will probably be somewhere else. So if that's the case, I might keep Luke Rayleigh if we're gonna be getting rid of Trace Thompson. And then maybe we just move on from Luke Rayleigh, send him to another team eventually. But if we can get him for cheap contract, especially being able to be a lefty, hit well versus righties, that would be beneficial. Humberto didn't really play well enough for us to value bringing him back enough. As we have 39 on that roster, on that 40-man. Julio Teheran might be that 40th. But we shall see as we go through this offseason. Pitching rotation. I brought in Jack Flaherty to hopefully find himself, get back to the pitcher that we know he can be, as he has struggled a little bit. I feel like we can bring in one more. Cole Winn isn't necessarily a major league pitcher in my mind at this point in his career. So maybe an older veteran like Clevenger, I'll probably not end up bringing back. Trevor Bauer's not really on my radar either. But James Paxton, an older lefty. Kind of get a veteran in that starting lineup, or starting rotation. So I'll leave that as my cat goes crazy behind me. But it looks like that will really be it here for the start of free agency. Don't really bring in anybody above 80 overall. We'll sim a day. As with, let's see if we can, yes, we are gonna just remove Adam from the 40-man, make room for both of the guys that we offered contracts to. Hopefully, Kopech can go ahead and take that, and same with Garrett Crochet. And we'll go 3 days in the future. Cody Bellinger heads to Colorado. He's coming off a pretty good year, 263, 21 home runs, 16 steals. He's an 85 overall. As he looks to start some new beginnings out in Colorado. Now that we are a little bit farther in, I can check if some of these guys have gotten contracts. Tucker Toman has not yet, so I am waiting to send Liam Hendricks over to the Blue Jays for Tucker Toman and a couple minor league outfielders that I've been looking at. But completely forget what I was gonna look at, but it's okay. As we are a few days out now from the Rule 5 draft, where we still have those 2 offers out there for the pitchers. We'll sim the 9 days. Blake Snell goes to Minnesota on a 5-year, $75 million, and Mariners get Matt Chapman, 5-year, $55 million for him. Let's see. Looks like we were able to bring in Julio Teheran. He'll join the starting rotation. And it looks like Michael Kopech did not accept our offer to him. So let's get him signed here. 3-year deal, $6.4 million. I feel like that's good to increase his value. Let's do a 3-year, $20 million. Who else did we have out there? Grace Thompson. I'll let him go somewhere else. Might bring in someone like Michael A. Taylor. He can play some outfield, be a defensive replacement. He kind of gives some good depth. Tommy Pham. He's a good bat. Edward Olivares. Ooh. Now I'm thinking about him instead of Michael A. Taylor. He's much less of a defensive replacement, more of a hitter. But maybe we can stick him in the minors for a season or two. Just a season to see how he does. Let's see, Alex Call is also a pretty good bat. Nico Holsizer. Righty though. Righty. Looking for a lefty. Michael Brantley, of course, a very, very good bat. But I think that'll do here as we are just checking to see if there's anybody that we're missing. Let's see, Candelario would be a good, but we're all set in the infield. And Luis Garcia. 1 year, $5 million though. I think that's a little bit rich. 33 million, 33-year-old Brevia. But I think that'll do for our free agency. I don't see anybody that I would really want to bring in. Only 79 people in the organization now, but that'll easily be able to be fixed, as we'll sim a week. Let's see, we were able to bring back Kopech officially. Bring him into the starting lineup, starting rotation. And same with Julio Teheran. As right now we have an alrighty starting rotation. We are looking to bring in a lefty with James Paxton. Hopefully he is able to sign with us soon, as we are definitely his best offer. As I'm actually gonna lower the offer a little bit as well. I'll put it to 2 years, $13 million. So hopefully he can accept that. And in the case that he does not, I'll just go Danny Duffy, I think. So, let's see, we do not have anybody for the Rule 5 draft. Here we go, as we see our draft odds as well, where we will fall in the 2024 MLB draft. And we will drop down. The Phillies jump up by 10 spots. The Pirates jump up a little. And we go down to 8. But top 10 pick, that's not too bad. We'll take it. That'll give us hopefully a good signing bonus as well. We got 32 players on our 40-man right now. So let's take a look. Justice Sheffield. He might be a decent. Oh, well, that's definitely gonna. We have a couple options. Wow. Looks like we have a couple relievers here that did not get added, so we might even be able to bring in more than one. But it looks like Tyler Matzik will definitely be one, as we'll take a look around the other positions real quick. But it definitely looks like there's good value in the rotation, in the relief opportunity. Ty Buttrey. Fastball, slider, changeup. He's got well-rounded. 27 years old, though, for Darwin Hernandez. He also has a sweeping curve and a slider. Kind of like that. And If it comes around to us again, with both of those with another bullpen arm available, we will take it. In fact, we do, as Tyler Matzik will get the draft for us, and we now have 2 more bullpen arms. I think 3 people in the Rule 5 draft is a little bit too rich. Can't really guarantee all 3 of them roster spots. But we have Tyler Matzik, Darwin, and Hernandez now in the bullpen. But we have a lot of lefties, I am just realizing. But, let's see, we have Amaury Ochoa in the organization now, one of our picks from last season. And we are very light on the relief pitcher side of things, so I'll just go sign some lower overall, 0 experience relief pitchers. And come on. Wow, some of these guys you just don't think should have MLB service time. Just like this one, he has 0 days, but have to offer 700K. But it's okay. I'll just offer expiring 700s to a lot of these relief pitchers. As I think that will just be the best way to get our bullpen locked on up, and we'll draft a couple relievers as well this year, I think. Because that's one of my areas of focus, definitely this season. As we are just gonna give all of these guys the opportunity to pitch in the organization. Let's see, that's half of the reason why my roster is so low. I don't have a lot of relief pitchers in right now. But this should definitely help with that, as we see we have quite a few offers to relief pitchers now. And now, let's see, we should be able to hopefully bring in everybody there. And then we will trade Liam Hendricks as well, closer to spring training. We sim a couple of weeks. Nola goes to the Royals. I don't know why he would do that. And we are losing some of these relievers that I've reached out to. But we also have signed a bunch. So that's good. That'll even out the depth chart and everything. 27. Let's see what the 40-man looks like. How low? Okay. 65 overall for the lowest overall on our 40-man. Works well. But we finally get a look at Ramon Ornelas, 74 contact versus righties. We love that. That means he's going to be able to put the ball in play right away. So we'll see what he's able to do. And at 22 years old as well, he's somebody that I want to see. And same thing with Oliver Vizcaíno. Except at 18, I like what his bat has the opportunity to do. Amaury Ochoa. Not really going to include him in the spring training roster, but if he pitches well at the minor league level, we will definitely see him sometime soon. As we now officially have James Paxton, we have a 5-man rotation. We have 2 veterans in Paxton and Tehran. We have 2 guys trying to find form in Flaherty and Kopech. And we have this 5th. It's going to be a toss-up of Davis Martin if he's pitching well, Cole Winn if he's pitching well. So it's just going to be a pitching by committee for that number 5 spot, I think. We'll hopefully get a few more righty relievers. I have a trade in mind that I'm going to do for Liam Hendricks, I think. Let's see if people are signed in the organizations. Looks like they are. So we're going to do basically just like the trade we did last season, that apparently just didn't want to be saved. So as I look through their reliever options, Kloffenstein and Adrian Hernandez, Liam Hendricks. It looks like I'm gonna take off of Kloffenstein. And this is gonna be the trade. We're gonna bring in infield prospect Tucker Tillman, a switch hitter, can possibly move to short in the future. But we are gonna be trading Liam Hendricks over to the Toronto Blue Jays. Hopefully give him an opportunity to play in a more impactful role. And with a team that has more going for them. So, I'm good to have this happen, boost our farm system even more. But that is gonna be that trade, as now that opens up a void, and we can possibly bring in, what do we have? There is absolutely nothing available on the free agent market. So, let's see who has a high pitch. And Brad Boxberger will be getting an MLB contract. With that high pitching clutch, I feel like he could, do the job. But, let's see. That will really be the only move I'm going to be looking to do. Bring Luke Raley real quick up to the majors. Let's see. Arbitration hearings in 45 days. Let's sim a month real quick. Hader goes to the Seattle Mariners on a 4-year, $48.8 million deal. Good for him. And Brad Boxberger looks like signed. And that means I'm going to make him a closer. Let's see. 70 overall, we will take that. Let's see, so why? 13. Let's see. So why do we have so many people in the MLB roster? No, it doesn't really matter right now anyway. So, let's just continue on simming. Jordan Montgomery is the best player right now in free agency. JD Martinez looks like gonna go back to the Dodgers after coming off of a down year, kind of. 228 average, but as you can see, he hit 43 home runs in his age 40 or 35 season. That's the most home runs since 2018 for him. As the Dodgers just do Dodger things with people. But Jorge Mateo, very interesting player with that super high speed, 28 years old. Looks like nobody's truly interested in him right now. Lots of decent players still left in free agency. But, let's see, we got Edward Olivares, Luke Raley. I think I should trade Luke Raley actually for a bullpen arm. So let's see if there's anybody on the trade block reliever wise. Rafael Montero, a 70 overall. Okay. Ooh. Well, apparently he should be able to be used as a long man. Made some starts in his career. I guess it's been since his time with the Mets, though. But, don't see anybody that appealing right here. But let's take a look at some teams that might need outfielder help. Red Sox are fine. The Yankees are good. Maybe the Guardians. They always have pitching. And it could be for somebody as simple as a 75 overall reliever. Where's Luke Raley? Luke Raley is right there. They would do this trade. Would give us a solid reliever. We don't need to bring in any pitching prospects. But I feel like this deal will do for us. We're able to bring in Aniel de los Santos to be one of our better reliever arms. As we are going to do that trade. Let Luke Raley play for the Guardians. And we move closer towards the regular season and spring training. As January is coming to a close, February is here. And there's a few players that I want to get more playing time this season, or that we have brought in. Edward Olivares, Oscar Colas, sorry. So we have brought in a few lefties. Addison Barger right now is on the MLB roster. Will definitely be in AAA to start the season. Evan Carter is not in the MLB roster. He will be. So there's of course moves around the edges that will be made. But we get closer to spring training here. No, we have nobody to renew. AJ Pollock is the best free agent by a long spread. He'll get picked up soon enough. David Robertson available. Drew Rosinski, never heard of this guy before, but I guess he was in the league in 2018 and hadn't really been since. We don't really have a speed guy in our organization, so I might come back to John Birdie, give him an invitation to spring training, see how he plays. But spring training is coming up, 15 days. This was definitely going to be a shorter stream as we went through the off season and made sure we brought in a lineup of people who we can take chances on and give opportunity. Let me make sure our spring training roster is what we want. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think Ochoa should be getting spring training yet. Ricky can get it possibly next season. If he has a good year, he will get a call-up anyway. But we can also go through the training real quick. Let's see, Gavin Sheets, fielding drills. Yeah. It's not really going to do much at this point. Colas should be there, good. Evan Carter, I want to get up to 70 speed potentially, so I'll just let him do sprints for the first bit of this season. Let's see, Alec Thomas can be a vision clutch. DePaula, get that power a bit better. I think we'll actually start with the vision, discipline, and clutch. See if he can get on base at a little higher clip. Olivares. Fielding for Benatendi, okay. Olsen, yeah, you really do need to get better on the power side of things. Addison Barger, trying to improve that bat to give him a little bit more versatility. Jose Iglesias, at his older age, I'll just get him fielding. Let's see, Jacob Gonzalez will definitely start with the vision, discipline, and clutch. And hopefully the vision and discipline can catch up to the contact and everything. Tucker Toman, our newest addition to the organization. Let's see. I think we'll put him at the contact to start Curtis Mead, vision, discipline, clutch. Yep, need those to go up. Lenyon Sosa, power. Let's see, Andrew Vaughn's doing fielding. Yeah, that works. This guy, 36 durability. Sheesh. That is tough. So we look to bring that up. Edgar Cuero. He's going to be doing power. I'll change that to the hitting coach session, vision, discipline, clutch. And on the bullpen side of things, we don't really have a lot to do besides Ben Joyce. And oh my. Where in the world is Garrett Crochet? He is a New York Yankee. Signed on a 2-year, $2.3 million deal after hitting arbitration. And he is probably gone. As it will probably, very disappointing. I mean, like, that is so disappointing. Oh, he had such good years for us. 2.44 and a 2.82. I was looking forward to having him in my bullpen. And then he just said fuck you to our offer. As we lose Garrett Crochet to the Yankees, they have a pretty full bullpen as well. They also have one of the top bullpen prospects in baseball. Well, fuck, I'll say. Don't really want to give up anything to get back my boy, but he's definitely somebody that you would have to give up assets to get back. But whatever, we're not gonna go after that. Instead, we might look at a former teammate of mine and somebody that I would just have in my bullpen long term for just personal reasons. Let's see, Jordan Holloway would work. Let's see, what number pitcher is he for us? 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's see, they would take Cole Winn though for Hollowell. Which, I could take 2 relievers off them for a price of a young guy that hasn't really shown much. But I will just leave it at this. Outfield prospect or 2 look very interesting, but gonna leave them alone. And we are gonna bring in 72 overall, former teammate of mine, Gavin Hollowell. I played my junior year baseball with him. He was a senior. He was a hell of a player for us, as a couple of my followers know. But he's gonna be one of our main guys out of the bullpen. So he might start the season in AAA. He might start it with us. We will see. But let's go through the pitching rotation. As usual, I don't need James Paxton, Julio Teheran, or Davis. Well, yeah, Davis Martin proved himself last season, so he can get taken out. Hollowell and Ben Joyce, I do want getting innings here in spring training. Let's see. They have them, 6'7", 215, New Jersey. Slider, sinker, four-seam cutter, circle change. We'll check over the lineup real quick. We want Evan Carter getting a ton of at-bats here in spring training. So we're just gonna try to make a lineup with few guys getting at-bats, trying to break in. And of course, that is gonna include Jacob Gonzalez. Let's see, Gavin Sheets is an outfielder. Let's see, so I'll move Jacob Gonzalez to third base. Gavin Sheets. Yeah, you might have to DH. And Jake Berger will play second. Tim Anderson definitely does not need to get at-bats here. Addison Barger. Love to see how he plays. We'll be doing a lot during this spring training. Edgar Quero did not get the call up with his lower overall. But we're going to see a lot of prospects get opportunity here. Let's see, Oliver Vizcaino is also going to get some time. Let's see. As we just want to make sure our young boys get a lot of at-bats. Let's see, Lenyon Sosa. Oh, of course, Ramon Ornelas also needs to get playing time. So he'll get it over Oscar Colas, as Colas can come in and hit versus lefties potentially. Let me just put it there for development reasons. Evan Carter does not need to play second base. He'll be in center field. Perfect. That means Curtis Mead can come in versus a lefty for second base. Jake Berger definitely gonna hit against lefties. Right now I'll put Jacob Gonzalez in. Ramon Ornelas is not a great lefty hitter right now. Good to see that 81 fielding on him. Love to see that. Potentially can earn the move on over to center field eventually. Let's see, Cesar Hernandez. Addison Barger will play shortstop. Olivares, who is better against righties. Very interesting. Any outfielders I want to get at-bats here? I don't think so. This looks to be what the lefty lineup is gonna be during spring training. Gonna get a bunch of at-bats for our young prospects. We have a lot to like with a few different guys able to get playing time here in spring training. We're gonna see a lot of different little shades here, different moments. People are gonna show why they deserve playing time, but also they're gonna show the opposite end of that as well. But right now, real quick, let's look at what it would cost to extend Evan Carter super long term. A 10-year deal would be around $170 million. As right now, he has a 267 career average in 23 games. So, depending on how he is doing when the All-Star break comes around, we could be looking at giving Evan Carter the big payday. Locking that in for now and not having to worry about having somebody locked on up for years to come. Tim Anderson on the final year of his deal, free agent next season. He hit .312 last year And as you can see, the last 5 years have all been 300 years. So, there's a lot to other teams could be looking at when it comes to Tim Anderson. Needing somebody who gets on base, puts the ball in play. But there's a lot of question marks with this team. We have a fairly full bullpen as well of 70 overall, so that'll help us possibly win games down the line or bring some assets back in the future. But we'll take a look here at the top prospect list coming into this season, as we see 2 White Sox there in the top 6. Sebastian Rios, 62 overall, 98 potential, but he's a long way away. And when I say a long way, I mean I don't see him coming up to the major leagues until maybe 2027, 2028. Because that K rate is just too low. He can't really pitch if runners are on base with that pitching clutch. But he's got very high stamina. So we'll see how he does as he goes through the levels. Jackson Holliday starts the season as the top prospect in baseball, followed by Marcelo Meyer. Meyer had a good stint to the end last season, 19 games, 324 average. Evan Carter, our top prospect in my mind, ended last season 23 games, 267, 337 OBP, 523 slug, for an 860 OPS. Very, very good. But as we look down this top 100, we see Tideman coming in at 18 to start the season. Hopefully he can have a great start to the year and get early progression. Colson Montgomery comes in at 31. Got a couple athletics following him. Jacob Wilson, he's definitely going to get the call up, hopefully, for the athletics this season. Should be getting on base, hitting at a pretty high clip. Vega, their first round draft pick last season, coming in already a good prospect in their organization. As we now see Arnold Kondo, another super far out. Might be 8 years until he's up. But we also have Jacob Gonzalez now rounding out the top 50 basically for us. Starting at a 69 overall, he will most likely be starting the season in AAA. We'll see how he hits there. We'll see how people hit at the major league level. And that'll ultimately decide when he comes up as well. But you see a couple guys getting spring training invites with lower overalls, but it's always nice seeing guys being able to have the opportunity here in spring training. Yeah, Max Clark here at 30, 71 overall, coming into age 19, so Max Clark has the potential to get some MLB time later this season. But there's a lot of prospects that are right on the verge. Rocco Parra was a top 5 pick in last year's draft, coming in at a 72 overall. And he is going to be a generational prospect for the Royals. That is huge for them, especially with the success that we see during franchise simulations with them. They just never seem to really find it. So maybe Rocco Parra is able to turn something on for them and lead them to a great spot. Also, Ken Shibuya for the Brewers. First round pick did not get to me, but it looks like he'll be able to contribute by the end of the season, starting at a 70 overall. Good fielding, decent speed, great against lefties. So, there's a couple guys in this draft, in last year's draft class, that look like they will be able to come up eventually during this season. And we'll definitely be keeping an eye on things as we like to do with the top prospect list. But that is gonna conclude, I think, the episode here as we take a look at the depth chart real quick. We see by 2028 what the potential of some guys could be. Evan Carter out in center field, 93. Tideman an 87 here, as all this is just possible stuff. You can't really say they're going to be this, they're going to be that. Because I don't know if Alec Thomas will ever get to an 85 overall, let's be real. Especially with not being able to hit lefties at all. But Jacob Gonzalez at an 84 would be a really, really good bat. Someone very, very dangerous. But looking at this depth chart sometimes just gives you a look at the best case scenario as to what the organization can bring. We see Oliver Vizcaino possibly getting some outfield time if he's able to develop his fielding a little bit more. But overall, this is a good little look at what possibly could be in the works. But until next episode, where we go into spring training, we use some of our prospects. We'll definitely use Ramon Ornelas, our first round pick in the 2023 draft. So we'll see how he is, and it's always nice to watch the development of guys that we draft. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe, let me know any feedback or anything you'd like to see as we keep going through this series. We're episode 12 as well now, so we're getting things rolling as hopefully I start, pumping these out a little more consistently, maybe a schedule of some kind, but with 2K coming out, you just never really know how things will go. But until next time, we gone!